How's it going, disc golf fans, and welcome to the 2025 Pdga Junior World Championships. We're here in Emporia, Kansas, starting it off at Champions Landing. Big shout out to all of our Patreon supporters. As always, much love to each and every one of you. And if you'd like to help support this coverage, head on over to Patreon. And a big shout out to Marshall Street for weighing this commentary. I'm Derek, and this is Chris. And we are Gatekeeper Media. How's it going, bud?
It's going well. We Champions Landing, the MJ18. So these are basically last little shots here to maybe get a major before you start having to play with the big guys in the MPO. So age protected here. We have Luca Nieminen. We also have a couple other names here hovering around 1,000. So some really talented players. Kev.
All right, let's start off on hole one. Starting off with a par 5 is diabolical, coming in at 999 feet. Pretty much straight as you can get. A little complicated here towards the green, OB on either side.
Yeah, shout out Cooper with Glimpse drone services over in Emporia helping us out, getting the flyovers.
Did I read right that Luca is from Finland?
Yeah. That's what I was double checking. I was going to say that in the intro, and then I didn't actually 100% know.
Zeb Kaylor.
Zeb, Team Innova.
So the only sponsored player we have on the feature card here, it looks like. Hopefully that changes for one of these bright young talents. And by sponsored, I mean manufacturer sponsored. I'm sure that they have supporters otherwise. And that's a pretty good stock shot there. Nice and in the middle.
Yeah, that's all you got to do. Just miss that tree there. Don't turn it over.
Let's get a big round of applause going for Kenta Aranami.
Kenta coming over from Japan. So we're getting some good international representation on this feature card.
Sometimes I feel like the amateur and junior events see more international attendance in some cases. Do you get that vibe sometimes?
Yeah, I would say so. Like the AM Worlds, Junior Worlds, things like that. Now that we've been covering those events for a couple years consistently.
All right, that catches edge really good, preventing any type of skip over.
From Bushnell, South Dakota, let's give it up for Loren Buterbaugh.
Yeah, spoiler alert, Kenta throws a country mile, so we're going to be in for some really good
Which
shots.
From what I know about disc golf in Japan, is that the courses are not that big. They're very limited on space there, so to see a crusher coming from there is very exciting.
Good luck, guys. Have a good round.
So everyone keeping it in bounds on the first shot. Little tricky here for Luca, but he's executing a great shot. Zeb able to throw the hyzer.
Loren going forehand here, probably going to play that OB. Hopefully it comes up just short of it. Actually, nowhere near it.
Kenta really ripping this to the right, though. This one is flirting with OB on the right.
Oh.
And, yeah, goes over the road there. And Luca's messing with that OB you were talking about. Wow.
Yeah, I have to dial in my expectations here. Whoa, check out that line. Putting his body on the line, too. It's a good recovery, I think. But yeah, I have to curb my expectations. I mean, we kind of only have seen the big dogs throw in this course, so we got to remember these are just wee lads.
Yeah, I'll still throw farther than me. So that's a great approach there from Zeb. Loren as well. Yeah, pretty textbook here. And if you know anything about this place, the wind is always a factor. Will come in as a factor today as well.
Yeah, and then it
some
being
wind gusts.
midsummer is also heat.
Yeah. It is a hot one, Wally.
With very little shade. But Loren walking away with the birdie on the first. Little quick. I think that might have been to maybe beat the wind. Tried to rush it a little bit.
It's all right, though. Double bogey and a bogey to start your tournament. Every good round starts with a bogey. So we're going to move into hole 2, par 4, 582. This one's tricky with the OB on the left. Basket, a little shorter than we traditionally see in front of these trees here. Tucked all the way over on the right side, though. Little nose
Big
up here
Annie.
Zeb.
Yeah, that's out. Just not that's a dangerous line for that distance, honestly.
Yeah, it's not like they're playing the long position where you then have to get over that hillside. I think this is a great shot here from Loren. It's just a forehand or something that you know is going to finish more to the right. Or to just do something like this.
Yeah, a little high, but it'll crash and probably just go straight down. More or less. Playing shade golf as well. Yeah, that outside line.
Roller, though.
Oh, no.
Jeez.
Dang.
What an aggressive
Wait, is it going to come back?
shot.
No way.
Yeah, worth the replay.
I definitely need to see that again. And so Chris and I are actually not on site for this either. So we're getting a fresh look at all this stuff. This is a hell of a shot. That is amazing.
Yeah, basically got all the way up, almost pin high.
So crazy. Wow. It came back inbound so daintily too. Like playing the
Good
skip,
flare
getting
skip.
up there. Yeah.
Another forehand out of Loren. Seems to favor that shot when he can. Does just well for him there, inside 20 feet. Zeb should be able to save his par. He pin high. Wow.
Damn near, yeah. Like probably 6 inches difference.
As this is one you definitely want to grab. This was the 4th easiest hole on the course. About a third of the field taking birdies.
So now here's the question: is that arguably like Kenta is probably going to take the same score as everyone else, but probably took the most risky route there. So would you say it's worth it? Let us know in the comments. Is it go big or go home, or play it safe?
I'm a lefty on this hole, so this one's a little easier for me, but I would still find a way to turn it over. I like the umbrella there. Yeah, shade from that hot sun.
That's true. All right, here on the third, par 3, 466 feet downhill. Kind of guarded by these 2 trees on either side of the green. I would say the left route is probably the most common. But you do have room for a big spike hyzer as a righty if you are feeling adventurous.
Yeah, you can go right at it as well. As Loren's heating up also. Forgot Forgot to mention that.
Ooh, little worm burn. Whoa. Sticky grass, I guess, there. That worm burner just... Good thing it didn't catch edge. Yeah, it didn't get a lot of ground play either.
Yeah, this is a tricky one here. This is basically, you need a lot of distance to get to the pin. This kind of plays more playing for par, I would say, for most of the field.
Yeah, I mean, it is downhill, but even then, over 450 feet downhill is still far.
Yeah. We have 144 competitors in the MJ18 division. And yeah, I think what Kenta just did right there is what a lot of the field's going to do. Just play it as a 2-shot.
Oh, dang. From that throw cam angle, I thought that was getting dialed up, but it's so crazy to see the illusions and like your perspective shifts from camera to screen and even just your eyeball. Yeah. Oh, solid run there. Just a little low. I think probably a little bit more on the modest side of running it.
Oh, good par there from Loren. So this was the 7th hardest hole, so kind of middle of the pack, but 2/3 of the field taking par. And we only saw 8 birdies on the day out of that 144 player field. So, elite distance here. All right, hole 4, par 3, 433. We're playing the OG spot we used to see back in the old Glassbone Open days. I like the shot, though. You have OB there on the left with the path. OB right as well.
I'm not convinced that he was meaning to go that wide. Looked like maybe a little bit of a pull there. I like this, though. It's getting pushed down quite a bit, but if that flares up, not much.
Yeah, he's kind of edge of circle 2 there.
All right, and this is getting the opposite, getting lifted back up. This should carry it to the green.
Yeah, and if you just get over that little kind of ditch there, you're basically putting. You're in a pretty good spot.
All right, just outside, it looks like.
It looks like Luca and Zeb are kind of neighbors over there. Loren should be able to still keep a clean scorecard.
Zeb too. Good half bid there from Kenta. That wind is whipping.
Yeah, and then look at it now. Comes in gusts, and that's always the tricky thing. Never fun when it's not consistent.
It is for the viewer, though, I guess. 'Cause anything could happen. Whoa. The wind tried there.
Par frame for the guys.
All right, let's jump into the 5th, par 4, yet again at 675 feet. Probably, it's actually kind of more wooded than a lot of the holes here, comparatively. One to kind of get in your head early from the tee, and then the cluster there in the middle.
Yeah, this one's tricky. I mean, you have the OB on the left, the right, short, and then I think with the trees, if that's usually where you land, then you have a play into the low ceiling. So like Kenta might not have the best shot here, or it's just going to be tricky. He's going to have to keep it low.
That should flare skip in front of that cluster.
Yeah, so that's going to hang out a little more on the left side. So I'm probably anticipating him to go left. That's pretty far down there as well. Oh, slow down.
Ooh. Yeah, it came back in.
Oh, out of the hand. He knew he didn't like it. No shot.
Yeah.
Looks like I was wrong here. I mean, Zeb goes right side, and that side's scary. You're throwing right at the OB. And you need it to scoot on up the hill. Good shot there from Kenta. Everyone kind of hanging out. Edge of circle over there on the right. Oh, money.
Was that a lock on the basket? Like on the cage? That was weird.
Yeah, locked in for a birdie. Gets back down to even. Kenta streaming together some pars, still trying to erase that double he got early on. So this came in as the second hardest hole.
That OB is sharp.
Yeah, it makes sense. OB, very tough. I mean, the Elite Series guys have played this hole. So Luca with the birdie, that's got to feel good. So we're going to go into hole 6. A little shorter here. Par 3, 300 feet. Raised basket. OB on the left and the right. But I would say this is another one these guys really want to get. They know they can get. Just got to put it under the basket here.
Yeah, it was a little too high. Not much elevation difference either. Maybe like a touch, but
yeah, just a slight uphill. But nothing to make a difference. If I got a little close to the OB there.
all right, that's more like what you want. Came up a little short, but much more level. Actually kind of going a little bit more on the flex side of things. Oh, boy.
A little bit of a yank, but
the forehand starting to look like it's betraying him a little bit. It's a big putt.
and an interesting reaction there, and kind of leaves him with a tester.
Yeah, the elevated. I stopped talking for a second because I thought we were about to see something awesome. Yeah, the elevation of the pin definitely adds a little extra to the windy conditions.
Yeah, it's a tasteful raise of the basket.
Yeah, it's not like it's like a mile high or anything.
Just enough for Kenta to take a bogey. Definitely on the lower half of the field there. Seeing some red on the scorecard. About half of the field here taking par.
So no way. You talking about superhero stuff? There's a flying Kev man.
All right, back to the action here on hole 7, 528 par 4, slightly down a hill. Coming up, kind of back up to the clubhouse as well before we go deeper into the property. We'll be on either side.
Yeah, that's just fine. Playing from
Low
the shorter
ceiling.
tee pad, which makes it a little easier because usually it's that really tight gap here.
Yeah, you
may
notice
have
that the branches over the tee pad are kind of forcing everyone to play a little lower.
Oh, wow.
Was that intended to be a roller? Huh. It like happened so quick I couldn't even tell what happened.
Kenta ripping one. Oh, geez. Is he trying to get pin high again?
No roller needed either.
So this just lines right up here for Loren. Still a lot of distance to cover. Like, there's Kenta there. He's just getting to his drive.
Oh my cow. All
Just
right.
missed that tree, and it looks
Get down. Perfect.
Looks
It's
like
like
it does.
bullseye, I guess.
Pretty close.
Play early and skip up. That works just the way he wants it.
Could he get a bounce back eagle?
Oh, I liked the height just a little to the right.
A little bit distance here for Loren, and he's going to miss the comebacker. Looking at another bogey on his scorecard. Zeb, though, finding the green. Getting the 2 under now. This is bounce back.
Nice.
Our man Kenta here. This was the easiest hole on the course. 61% of the field grabbing birdies.
Oh. A little too much power on that one.
Yeah, that was...
Bounced off right off the center.
That was pretty rough.
That is
Jeez.
pretty rough.
Oh, man. All right, hole 8. Another par 5 here on the front 9. 886 feet, and this one is tough. I thought this was going to be the hardest hole. OB left, OB right, water on the left, path on the right. Very long. This first shot here, it's very tricky. You can skip very easily to the left and find that OB.
Yeah, that middle section is a real pinch point, and you being elevated on this pad kind of gives you a false sense of confidence, I guess, because you really feel like you can take out a lot of the distance from up there.
Like even that right there, and that seemed like a pretty standard hyzer shot, you know?
Right, and so if you get a little too aggressive, it only gets tighter as you go up the fairway until
That's
it
a
kind
good
of
looking
rounds
shot
out
there
again.
from Luca. Doesn't even have to worry about it.
Forehand here is interesting.
Yeah, that's the aggressive play if you really got it. I'm not a big fan of this.
Looks like he's at the drop zone.
And yeah, the wind's just going to hold that one to the left, and that's going to find the OB.
Yeah, it's a bad break. That should be safe as well.
Coming in hot. Fast.
Oh,
Fast.
I spoke too soon. Wow.
Looks like a dry summer there. Maybe not, though. I feel like the whole country's been getting poured on everywhere I go in this country. It feels
We've
like
been getting shellacked by the weather everywhere we go, and that needs to slow down too. Man, that's out by a hair. All right. Can Kenta stay in?
Keep his second shot in.
Oh, come on. Dang, man. But like I was saying, it only gets tighter as you go forward.
Loren's still with some work having to go over this hill, and he's going to yank one to the left again.
At what point do you decide to stop throwing that shot, right? Like, clearly the wind direction is not in your favor for doing that. So it's like, I feel like that's kind of, I guess I'm not really surprised. I mean, they are junior AM players. So, I mean, that the course management isn't really quite developed as much as a lot of us are already used to seeing on coverage.
This is an elite hole as well.
Yeah, it's tough. And like I said, it really doesn't look that difficult from the tee, in my opinion. You're like, oh yeah, I got this. Nope. Like, can he do it?
Ooh, that was pretty close. This is Loren for his double, I think. Yeah.
It's a good putt, though. He needed that to stop the bleeding.
Yeah, scorecard's still not looking good, though. So these guys are all trying to hover around par. Luca hanging out there as well. As this was the fourth hardest hole. Pretty crazy break here. We saw 24% birdie, 26% par, 25% bogey, and then 24% double or worse.
Wow.
So talk about a good separation there. Basically a quarter a pop. These guys would have birdies if they just kept it in bounds. Played the hole fairly well, I would say.
All right, let's round out our front nine here with another par 4, 693 feet. Pretty tight gap off the tee, and then dog leg, kind of a fish hook almost to the right. OB all along that left side. Pretty low ceiling coming out of this gap as well. I would say the best shot would be to have something that goes straight with a slight drift to the right. It's kind of get
perfect there.
Yeah, you don't want to get too far to the right either because it pinches you off pretty bad. So it's kind of like it's a touchy first shot. Definitely making this a placement golf hole.
Yeah, I think this is the hardest shot on the course, I would say, relative to like each hole.
I'd say it's also probably my favorite hole on the course.
Yeah, I would actually agree.
Oh, that needs to take another hit. Stay on the edge. Oh, it looks like there's OB line there too. Forgot to mention that.
Yeah, and that's going to move you to the drop zone.
All right, that's a forehand that is treating him a little better. but not good enough, I guess.
That's kind of all you can do there. It gets pretty tight up there as well. As Kenta stayed in, out of all those shots that kind of turned over to the right, he did miraculously somehow keep his in. And he's well on his way to trying to save par. Yeah, this shot right here.
Tough.
Very fun.
It's really mean that the OB is all in there, too.
Yeah, OB along the whole right side is pretty brutal.
Is that a McCabe thing? Did he do that?
That's a great shot right there from Kenta. That's going to put him basically right at the bullseye. Late work here for Luca. Hey. Loren for the bogey. Still going to get the rewind. We had to sneak in some type of highlight here. And that dynamic disc basket doing its job. That was a close one. Luca's in there. This came in as the hardest hole, which is interesting, I thought. Oh, earlier I said it was the second hardest, so I had my stats not on my one today. Not the stat man. This was the hardest hole, as kind of figured. 1.14 over par. Whew. So it came in at 5.42. We saw one birdie, and we actually just saw it from Zeb. So shout out, Zeb. You were the only birdie on this hole.
That's an accomplishment right there.
Woo! It was a mouthful. I had to get that in there. Had to get us lined up here for the back nine.
Yeah, so it does look like Loren did find himself some bloody pavement here to end his front nine here. So hopefully he can pick that up on an upward swing here on the back. Let's take a look at the top 10 standings as of going into the back nine. 5 down in the mix. We really appreciate each and every one of you for watching. We enjoy showcasing the junior players here at another major here on our schedule. Big shout out to all of our Patreon supporters. And again, if you'd like to help support this coverage and make all this possible, head on over to patreon.com/gatekeepermedia. You can donate for as low as $1 a month.
See you on the back nine.